In this video, we are going back to the setting of the Cybertronians and explore the 8 planet-sized beings and entities from this Transformers franchise. While many of you might only know of 2 of them, which will also be discussed here, there were actually 6 more that appeared in the entirety of the expanded lore and continuities of the Transformers, including one crossover timeline. Let's get to it. Of course, we begin this topic with Unicron, who is the greatest and most terrifying villain in the entire Transformers universe. He is an ancient god whose only goal is to destroy everything that exists. In almost every version of the story, Unicron is the twin brother and the complete opposite of Primus, the creator of the Transformers, and he exists only to erase all life. Because of this, he is known by many names, including the Dark God, the Chaos Bringer, and the Planet Eater. His true form is that of a massive robotic entity, but what really makes him famous is his ability to transform into a living mechanical planet as well. His gigantic jaws, which can appear in both planet and robot modes, can tear a planet apart, while the rest of his body crushes everything into pure energy until nothing is left behind. Also, Unicron rarely works alone, as he often has loyal followers and servants like the Fallen, Scourge, or Galvatron. These Transformers might get power-ups from him every now and then, but they always end up dead in the end because Unicron eventually consumes his own followers as well. His powers are almost beyond imagination. He can reshape matter, control dark cosmic energy, fire energy blasts, restore dead Transformers, and even grow stronger by feeding on hatred, fear, and endless conflict. Then there is Primus, who is the creator god of the Transformers and the complete opposite of his twin brother Unicron. While Unicron's existence is to destroy all life, Primus exists to protect it and create new life. In every new universe, he stands as the final defense against Unicron, which makes their endless struggle as one of creation against destruction. Long ago, Primus transformed his own body into the planet Cybertron, and instead of fighting every battle personally, he created the Transformers to become his defenders. At the same time, a part of his life force lives inside the matrix of leadership. Even more amazing is that every Transformer carries a tiny piece of Primus within them, their spark, which is the energy that gives them life. This comes from his own essence. Even though Primus is incredibly wise and powerful, he isn't really that perfect, and over the ages and continuities, he has been tricked by enemies, he has become corrupted, made mistakes that place entire universes in danger, and even watched his own creations fall into devastating civil wars. These conflicts often weaken Cybertron itself, since the planet is actually his own body. And despite these setbacks, he never stops guiding his children and continues searching for ways to hold back Unicron. Now let's expand beyond Unicron and Primus, cause there are more of these entities in the expanded franchise. The first is Neo Primus, who is a rare and unusual version of Primus that appears in the Japanese Generation 1 Transformers continuity, specifically in the Generation Selects manga. Unlike the real Primus, Neo Primus is an artificial copy created by Primacron. Instead of being born as a true god, he was built by using Primus as a blueprint, which means he looks almost exactly like the original, but he isn't the original. In his robot form, Neo Primus is a gigantic planet-sized Cybertronian with the familiar blue and orange colors associated with Primus. Before his transformation, he existed as the Blue Planet, a world that looked almost identical to Earth. Once Primacron activated his creation, that peaceful world transformed into a blue version of Cybertron and became the mighty Neo Primus. However, despite his incredible size and power, Neo Primus had almost no personality of his own. He was completely controlled by Primacron and acts only as an extension of his creator's will. During the story, Primacron sends Neo Primus after the real Primus while the original is collecting the star-powered matrices to stop the destruction caused by Megatron Omega. Next here is Atlas, who appeared in the crossover Transformers vs. G.I. Joe comic series. Unlike Primus, who became Cybertron or Unicron, who transforms into a living planet that devours worlds, Atlas is actually revealed to be the true hidden form of Earth itself. This means that the planet is actually an ancient Cybertronian god. Atlas is also said to be the long-lost sibling of Primus, and possesses incredible power, which makes him strong enough to fight other similar beings on equal terms. Throughout history, only a handful of people knew his secret. Ancient legends on both Earth and Cybertron hinted at his existence through names like Terra and Pangaiden, while groups like the G.I. Joe secretly protected the knowledge of his existence and how to awaken him if the planet was ever in imminent danger. That moment finally arrived when Primus threatened Earth's sun by surrounding it with a massive Dyson sphere, placing the entire solar system at risk. To stop this disaster, the G.I. Joe team activated the Atlas Protocol and awakened the sleeping giant hidden beneath Earth. Atlas transformed into his enormous robotic form and immediately struck Primus with a powerful punch, and then smashed the giant structure around the sun, thus saving the solar system. After the battle ended, Atlas quietly returned to his dormant state and transformed back into Earth once again. Then Gaia is another ancient planetary god in Transformers, although she is much less well known than Primus or Unicron. She appears mainly in the Transformers classic storyline and is also mentioned in Beast Wars Uprising. Like Primus and Unicron, Gaia is a cosmic deity and she was hidden inside Earth itself. Long ago, the 13 Primes foresaw that one day she would be needed to face a terrible threat, so Gaia willingly went into a deep hibernation at the center of Earth. Her life force flows through a special form of energy called the rarefied energon, which awakens her when the planet is in great danger. That moment finally came after an evil version of Primus attacked Earth in an attempt to wipe out his former creations. To protect both humanity and Transformers, Gaia Awakened safely transported all humans to another universe and transformed into her enormous robotic form to battle the corrupted god. With help from the Knights of Unicron, she defeated the Dark Primus and then did something remarkable. Instead of returning Earth to normal, she reshaped her alternate form into a brand new Cybertron for both the Autobots and the Decepticons, and then she also ensured that humanity will remain safe in another peaceful universe. Although she isn't really one of the most famous Transformers characters, Gaia is important because she was the first Transformer ever conceived whose alternate version or form was the planet Earth. Number 6. The Nemesis. So this Nemesis from Beast Wars 2 was not really the same ship of the Decepticons. Instead, it was a planet-sized world destroyer. It was built by the Predacon Emperor Galvatron, and this gigantic warship is so enormous that it is comparable to a planet in size. It was designed to drain life and energy from whole worlds, and at the front of the ship was a massive eye-like structure that can absorb all of the energy from planets into the ship's interior. During the events of Beast Wars 2, Galvatron traveled to the planet Gaia, which was a world filled with an immensely powerful energy source called the Angolmois, and Galvatron had secretly summoned the Nemesis to Gaia, giving its massive flagship enough time to arrive so they could plan an attack. On its journey, the colossal vessel even consumed 2 planets within Gaia's solar system, which are later revealed to be the distant future versions of Jupiter and Saturn. Once it reached Gaia, Nemesis activated its enormous energy siphon and drained nearly all of the planet's Angolmois, giving the Predacons enough power to prepare an assault on Cybertron later on. However, the Maximals later launched one final attack to board the giant ship, and then refusing to accept defeat, Galvatron triggered the ship's self-destruction and then destroyed the mighty Nemesis permanently. But even stranger still is something called Hytherion, who is also called the Beast of Time and the Origin Eater. It appears mainly in the Alternatives storyline, while also being featured in the Ask Vector Prime, Beast Wars Reborn, and Transtech. Unlike Primus or Unicron, the Hytherion isn't a Cybertronian god with a clear purpose of creating or destroying life. Instead, it is a hyper-dimensional creature that exists beyond normal space and time, which makes it almost impossible for ordinary beings to even see or touch it. Rather than feeding on planets, the Hytherion feeds on time itself. Its favorite prey is the very beginning of worlds and universes, earning it the terrifying name of the Origin Eater because it can erase a universe by consuming its birth before it ever really truly existed. Even though this sounds incredibly evil, the Hytherion is actually closer to a force of nature than a villain, and even so, its immense power made it one of the greatest threats the Transformers have ever faced. In the end, the Hytherion remains one of the most mysterious cosmic entities in Transformers, existing beyond ordinary reality, and as a being whose very presence can change the fate of countless universes. And then lastly there is Tornadron, the main villain of the Transformers Generation 1 episode called The Call of the Primitives, and despite appearing in only a single story, it is remembered as one of the deadliest threats the Transformers have ever faced. In this continuity, like Unicron, Tornedron was created by the scientist called Primacron as a kind of sibling or a successor to the Chaos Bringer. Instead of being a giant mechanical god, Tornadron is a living mass of pure energy that exists only to consume life. It began as nothing more than a tiny particle before Primacron fed it fire and an energon cube, which allowed it to grow into a gigantic cosmic predator. As it traveled through space, it drained everything in its path, even reducing a comet to nothing more than a lifeless lump of coal. When it reached Cybertron, it absorbed the energy of the planet and every transformer in it. One of this entity's greatest abilities is its power to change shape and size. It can transform into a giant dragon, a spider the size of a planet, a tiger, and many other monstrous forms depending on its opponents. Eventually, Tornadron turned against his own creator, deciding that Primacron himself was simply just another source of energy to consume. And in the end, it wasn't defeated through strength but through Grimlock activating a reverse switch that flipped the creature's energy polarity, thus destroying it instantly and then restoring the life force of every victim it had drained, and also restoring the energy of all the planets that had been drained dry. And so with that, we end this video on the 8 planet-sized beings from the entire Transformers franchise. Do hit the like button for support and also click that bell button for regular updates on new video uploads. Also subscribe to be a part of Legion Nutbug, and so till the next time, take care boys.